Hit that red button. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Banter Bar. You already know I'm Joseph.
And I'm Shane. We are testing out our equipment. So we're still sitting here in the same thing, and Joseph is a little more intoxicated than he wants to be right now.
Yes.
Let's drink Budweiser Chelada. The original Clamato. Have you ever had anything like this, Joseph?
No, I do. I think I remember when those became a big thing. I mean, it wasn't like, am I sounding stupid? Was it like the 70s when this came out or something? But I feel like I remember like when they were everywhere.
But what they would call this in Jerry Maguire is a buddy beer. Because it's mostly tomato sauce or juice in a beer. What's our question?
I hate tomato. What are you no longer afraid of?
Let's try the beer.
Fuck no. Nope.
All right, so I used to make these at the bowling alley when I worked at the bowling alley. But the regulars would want their Bud Lights to have V8 juice in them. This is pretty similar. It's not just tomato juice. You get the other vegetables that are in it.
It's kind of spicy.
Yeah.
Not spicy, but you know what I mean. You get really...
It's like celery, I want to say, is in it. Maybe like a Bloody Mary. If you're really into that, you'll probably really enjoy Cheladas in general. I think the Modelo was better, but...
No,
it does have a very, very unique flavor.
It tastes like SpaghettiOs.
I mean, I'm going to say a 3. I do think it's a little unpleasant. Maybe it does taste like SpaghettiOs if it's got some pepper in it, maybe.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like that...
ground black pepper.
That's what I mean by spice. It's like, not really hot spicy, but, you know, it does have like a little bit to it.
Sorry to Budweiser.
Yeah, that definitely didn't make them the king of beers on that one.
If you were eating at an Italian restaurant and you just needed a beer for some reason, that would probably do you pretty good. What was the question? What are you no longer afraid of?
Yes, what are you no longer afraid of?
The dark. I'm just not. I actually feel more comfortable in the dark. At some point, I realized that almost everything that's in the dark can't see me, just like I can't see it, which makes me potentially just as dangerous as something that's in the dark, and I could be more terrifying if I chose to.
What if it's a bat?
I like bats.
But they can see in the dark.
They don't scare me.
All right, fine. Okay, yeah, I'm no longer afraid of death.
That's heavy. Not afraid at all of death.
I mean, it's just, of course I wonder, but, you know, I used to be terrified of dying. Like, that's all I ever thought about.
And now you just know it's going to happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm just like, I don't sit there and fear it in my mind all the time.
I
like,
gotcha.
It's just like, if it happens, you know, whatever.
Let's move on to Foster's.
All right.
So Foster's has, from what I understand, 2 beers. One is in a green can. That's the ale, I believe. And the blue can is the lager. It's a big one.
Yes. A lot.
Interesting. If you don't know what you're doing and you're at a bar and you're just like, oh, I've never had a Foster's, I'm going to order one. This is the only size they come in. So they're going to bring you this giant fucking beer can in a bar. And you're going to feel amazing because you've got this much beer to drink. So.
Yes, but it makes you feel weird. Like I feel like a child trying to drink a beer here.
The color is almost as dark as the Shiner was. It's beautiful.
That's your question? Or
Got
your question to read?
What don't you plan to try before you die? That's the question.
Don't you plan?
I can still taste the Chelada really bad. It's reminiscent of the pickle beer.
Five. Decent.
Okay. See, I'm trying to clear my palate a little bit of that Chelada.
It's not super.
I think we're good.
Not super bad. It's Australian, I guess. Oh, no, wait. It's brewed in the USA, but founded in Australia.
Yeah, it's Australia's biggest beer, but it's not the most popular in Australia. I want to say it's somewhere in Europe that they sell the shit out of this. It's good. I'd give it a 6. I do think it's a little better than decent. It may just be because I'm still trying to get the Clamato out of my mouth. What don't you plan to try before you die? Sex with a man. I have no interest. I've come kind of close. I've had sexual experiences with men present and involved, but not, man to man.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to do that after you get your butt implant?
I'm sorry we can't all be perfect like you.
Skydiving.
Why not?
I will never, ever jump. I don't even know if I could jump out of an airplane to save my life. There have been people that jumped out of planes and their parachutes didn't open and they survived. I've read multiple stories about that. It's crazy.
Every super painful experience I've ever had, I've blacked out before it actually happened. So how about we move on to the grand Miller Lite? Miller Lite is another light Pilsner ice house beer, which means it's going to be somewhat watered down tasting by way of comparison to the real deal, but it's lower in calories.
All right. Question.
I still taste that Chelada.
Where do you sing most?
Sing?
Yes, where do you sing most?
In your mom's house. If you put bread in water, like a wheat bread in water, and just let it sit there for a day or two and then drank the water, that's the aftertaste of this. I just don't enjoy the aftertaste of a Pilsner most of the time, especially not when it comes to these American generic. It's really not bad.
I'm going to roll with 6.
A 6?
Yep. That is, it's good.
I'm going to be nicer to it than Keystone. I would give it a 5.
I could drink it.
Did you have a serious answer to the question? Somebody's tipsy.
All right. The car. Definitely the car. I sing most in the car.
Yeah. In my office. That's where my guitars are.
Reds.
Wicked apple.
Well, not this particular, but the Apple L that comes in the 6-pack bottles. I don't think they sell the Wicked in bottles. It's only like these cans, I believe. The bottles is what my wife drinks. So like if we're gonna, hang out on Friday and get some drinks, she's like, get Reds, apple, and tequila. 7.
Rating.
It's great. It tastes like something, man.
I couldn't think of what it was. Obviously apple.
Apple juice?
It tastes like some kind of candy or something I've had before. Or I couldn't place it.
So if you're drinking ciders, almost all of them taste like apple juice because they come from apples. This is more in the beer category. It is technically an ale. It's got apple flavor and caramel color, which we don't fucking care about because that's not flavor. That's just color. But there is a sugar note in a lot of the popular ciders. This one is sugary in a way that reminds me of like the chalk sticks from the dipping sticks things, but in a good way. It's not too much like kids' candy that you're gonna get real sick drinking it really fast.
I would say that it's good. It's a 6. So the question is, what's worth knowing about buying an engagement ring? Hell of a question. I don't know that we're fit to answer that without company of easy.
Easy. Engagement rings don't matter. Like as far as like, I'm just being perfectly honest. An engagement ring is not going Okay. Yes, I get proposing, but I'm saying like people want these like to save up these.
Don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. Just dig your
rings.
hole on that side of the table.
I'll dig it.
Dig your hole, brother.
Is that what makes your marriage the engagement ring? No.
Oh.
Is that going to save your marriage if it starts going under? No. I'm just saying an engagement ring is not a big, huge thing.
Philosophical Joe.
Like
who knew? Who knew? I didn't know. I didn't know you had a few drinks and became philosophical.
I'm just saying.
That was a deep answer.
And
it probably would have gotten a lot deeper, but I didn't let it, so you're going to...
No, yours. Let's see your genius.
What's important about knowing... what's worth knowing about... You need to find a sly way to figure out what kind of diamonds that your future fiance is into. What sort of rings does she appreciate? I would say that an engagement ring, a lot of bourbon, fucking Reds, and Miller, and Clamato. Oh my God. Where was I at? It's very important. More important than I think a wedding ring. A wedding ring tends to be a band that just is an accent to the engagement ring. The engagement ring is what's meant to pop. It's where you spend the most money. For me, figure out what she wants. Do it on the low. Don't just come out and ask. Or if you do it years in advance. I waited 7 years to propose, so... But I knew it like year 2. I will join Joseph in the hole and say that jewelry should not be a reflection of your relationship. If you're in love with someone and they can only afford a $50 cubic zirconia ring, and that's the motherfucker you want to be with them. And while we're on that topic, for the massively woke crowd that's out there on the internet these days, why aren't more women proposing to men? Why is that not more common? I wanted like a $600-700 wedding ring. 2-tone gold with all sorts of shit in it. You know what I bought? I bought like a beveled titanium ring myself. It cost me like $40. Ain't love grand?
Yes, it is. All right. Next one
is Stella Artois, the champagne of beers, with a question stuck to the bottom of it and shit. This was brewed in Belgium. Because you're very interested in that sort of thing. Are there other words on that bottle that you care about?
Well, I was just wondering, this is definitely not a date, right?
1366, it might be.
All right. 5% alcohol.
So there is something about the grain of
I'm just gonna
Belgian beers that is super specific. If you try a Belgian beer and you like it, don't be afraid to try others, because that flavor profile tends to carry over, and I think it's got a lot to do with German purity laws in Europe, carrying over to most of the countries, areas, whatever you want to call it. They make beautiful beers in that part of the world. This is one of my wife's favorite beers. See what I think about it. Don't let that influence you, fucker.
I'm going to throw out a 6 on that one. I think it's good.
Stella Artois, sorry. That's a straight 10.
All right. I think you let it influence you.
This is a damn good beer. If you are trying to get someone into beer that's had the normals and they're okay with drinking the normals to get drunk, give them this. They're going to really like it. You can get it on draft in more places now. If you hate champagne, know that the champagne of beers has nothing to do with champagne. It's just a really fucking good beer. They might actually brew it with champagne yeast, and I don't know, but it doesn't taste like that.
How often, do you urinate outside of a toilet? And what's the main reason for that?
I wrote these questions, and I'm still surprised. I will be putting a journal out full of these questions and beer ratings on one page, questions on the other. So if you want to follow along, be our guest. It will be on Amazon probably before you see this video. Forgot the question already. Pissing outside of a toilet. Why you do that?
How often do you urinate outside of a toilet? And why, sir?
Okay. All right. I didn't think I had an answer, but suddenly I do. My first child is now 3. He likes to sleep with the door open, and I like to stay up and listen to make sure he has night terrors and stuff, and I want to be really aware of that. But part of it is not waking him up too.
Right.
I piss in a cup in the kitchen a lot. It is what it is, man. My bathroom is right next to his room, and I'm scared I'm going to wake him up. I don't want to wake the wife up because she's got to go to work in the morning.
Do you use the same cup, or is it always
I do, actually.
So you have a piss cup somewhere?
I try to use the same cup. I don't like to be wasteful. I also make sure that no one drinks out of that cup or comes anywhere close to using that cup. So
another bottle. It's still going.
What about you, Mr.
Well,
I got jokes?
Outside. Like, I do a lot of construction. Like, literally, you would think that you would be allowed to use bathrooms, like, especially public restrooms. But for some reason, they're like...
Well, but you can't use the bathrooms.
Which, actually... Can I tell a story really fast? Quick story. Okay. We were at work, right? Al was like, we can't use the bathrooms. Al is our brother-in-law. Al was like, can't use the bathrooms. I was like, you can use...
Amazing person.
Yes. I was like, you can use the bathrooms here. Everybody's been using them. He's like, whatever, dude. I know we can use them. I gotta go take a piss real quick. I'll be back. Dude, he comes back. Like, we can't use the bathroom here. Like, horrified. And I was like, what happened? He's like, I was up at the urinal taking a piss. And this lady walks up behind me and goes,
no pee-pee.
No, she did not.
Sorry,
No.
He jumped and turned around like, no, pee-pee. Al said he freaked out, zipped up his pants and walked out. But yeah, so sometimes I'm in the cup situation, you know?
So, moving on to our final beer for the evening. This is Stone's Arrogant Bastard Ale. This is one of the weirdest fucking things you will ever have. It smells like an IPA.
I'm scared. All right, wait. Because you're going to want time to think about this question.
I do want some time.
What's the strangest thing you've ever seen in public? Oh my god. It was worse.
There's something to the notion that you have to taste something a few times before you know for sure.
If you picked up dog poop and ate it, the more bites you took, the better it would get.
I mean, technically, there's some truth there.
All right. I'll give it this one more.
So, it looks like a red. It tastes like a brown. It's caramelly. It's malty. It is heavy. And if you don't like a strong flavored beer, you're not going to enjoy this. It does have a hoppy aftertaste to it. But this is one of the more unique things you can try.
I would say if you're the type to go to Walmart and eat the roses, then you would love this beer.
I have an IPA for you.
Whoa.
That's brewed to taste like yellow roses.
Oh my god.
We'll get there someday. I want to call this special, but it is... There are only certain situations where this is really going to hit the spot. So I would say it's a 7. It's great. It's not special.
0. Hopeless. Definitely. For me.
What's the strangest thing you've ever seen in public?
So at 7-Eleven, I pulled up, right? This girl was getting out of her car. And she was getting her kid out of the back seat, right? So she's wearing a skirt. Very windy day. But it's not the wind that did it, okay? As she's getting her kid out of the car, his foot catches her skirt and pulls it up.
You're straight tickling your twine over there, dude. There was
No, I'm
no
not.
skirt. It was just, what?
Well, I'm showing you where the skirt would have been.
Like the corner
I'm
of
giving
my
you full
eye is like,
imagination.
he's straight taint tickling over here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're rude.
I am rude. Queen.
Anyway, dude, so skirt comes up. Nothing on.
This is what I get for not wearing any panties.
Yes, it was probably the coolest thing that I've seen in public.
I mean, strangest that I remember. Bowling for Soup filmed one of their early videos at the bowling alley that I used to manage. And I'd run into those dudes in Walmart more than anywhere else. One night, I was trying to get in there and get out really fast. And they were in the food aisles playing dodgeball. No one was stopping them. And they kept following me and throwing fucking dodgeballs at me and trying to get me into their game.
Strange.
It doesn't feel like it fits the question as well as I want it to, but I've been drinking.
I guess that's the same thing with mine.
Low-key flex.
Strange, but kind of cool.
All right, man. Well, I think that does it for this episode.
Yeah.
You looking forward to more?
Yes.
You having
Ready.
a good time?
Yeah. But the important thing is that everyone is having a good time.
And let's throw this out there for the people who are watching, since we forgot to last time. If there's anything you want us to try, we will go to the beer store and try to find it. If there's a question you want asked on the show, leave it in the comments. We'll throw it under one of these brews. Probably.
And if you want to see Shane naked, he'll send you a picture.
Not of my ass. Because I don't yet have my butt implants, sir. No news.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of
The Banter Bar.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Joseph.
Till next time.
Later. I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go
I
back.
appreciate the sip.
Some kid's gonna be come up and be like, you talked about my fucking mom. That was my mom that said no pee-pee.
I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.